Guys, the Pittsburgh Pirates have won 5 World Series.
Yeah.
2 of them were before sliced bread was invented. All of them were before I was born. My name's Benjamin Kepler,
I'm Ben Yukonis.
and this is the Wombo Combo Show.
That was funny.
Yeah, I thought you. I knew you'd like it. I knew you'd like it. Yeah, the Pirates won two World Series before
really
sliced bread
necessarily-
was invented.
Yeah,
Before World War II. Before World War One. No, not World War One. Just 2.
Just 2.
Yeah,
would've been
1909,
after World War
1920s, and then some in the 70s. Last one was 1979.
Yeah. So
Sell the team.
they signed I think they re-signed Adam Frazier. Remember him?
Great. What's he going to do? Sell hot dogs? Throw them in the stands?
Probably, I don't know.
Anyways, that was our little bit of Pittsburgh knowledge for you today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. We're obviously going to be talking a little bit about the NFC Championship, a little bit about the AFC Championship, a little bit of how much we don't love the Super Bowl matchup, what we're going to, be rooting for in that Super Bowl matchup, how much we hate the Pro Bowl, and then we're going to cover a little bit of breaking NFL news.
The Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Dude, so dumb. So
Anyways.
dumb. You want to start NFC? You want to start AFC? How you feeling, brother?
Let's jump into the NFC game first.
NFC game? Okay. So first thing I want to say about this NFC game is not related to the actual game, but the fans. The Commanders took over Hard Rock Cafe in Philadelphia. That was their big accomplishment before the game.
Oh, really?
And then they put a bunch of garb all over Rocky,
Oh, wow.
the Rocky statue.
Surprised they didn't start a riot.
Yeah, well, it's Philadelphia, so there was a riot after
Well, I
the
mean,
game.
I'm just saying, obviously, because they won and are going to the Super Bowl again for the
Right.
second time in 3 years or something like that.
What the thing is this isn't the first time an opposing team has covered Rocky in their garb, right? But it's kind of like with the
someone
towel.
else did it. I forget who did it.
It's like the towel with the Steelers.
Yeah.
So like you don't really, you just let it happen kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Philadelphia fans didn't take any of that garb off. They left it on until after the game. Obviously bad juju.
Yeah.
So don't do that kind of stuff, Commanders. Also, taking over the Hard Rock restaurant is like, I don't know. That's one of the dumbest things I've heard of. Like, why did you do? What are you accomplishing? I was rooting for you.
It's just another restaurant.
Yeah, like good job. Like it's like if Browns fans came over and they were like,
They took over Permanis.
"Yeah, we took over Permanis on the south side," and you're like, "All right, cool. Those waitresses are getting paid nice tonight." Anyways, this game didn't end up being as close as we wanted it to. You actually seen Kenny Pickett, Will Shipley, the whole backup squad come into the football game towards the end. Things I did want to cover in it is the fact that Jaden Daniels was kind of bottled up.
He was.
A big thing.
Still had decent stats.
He still had decent stats. I think a big thing that they need is a real running back. I know that Brian Robinson Jr. is a decent running back.
Yeah,
But if you look like at his stats when he plays against these rival teams, he's dog
He hasn't
shit.
been good the last 5 weeks, right?
Yeah, no.
Something like that.
Maybe even more. I give him 9 weeks to be completely honest with you. He's had one spurting game.
I think it was like the last or second to last game in the regular season. He had 8 yards. And
Yeah,
two
9 rushes
fumbles
for 8 yards against the Eagles.
and 2 fumbles.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah, so I think that when we're looking at the offseason, they really need to look at filling not only some wide receiver help. I understand that. They have good ones, but they could have better
good
ones.
I think they can do that in free agency.
For sure. They could take care of that in free agency. I think in the draft, the Washington Commanders really should look at a running back.
Yeah.
Second round.
Yeah.
First round,
Second
maybe
rounder.
get like a guard or a tackle, something of that nature to help with protecting Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
Where they're
picking
at.
29.
Yeah, they're picking 29, so it's not looking too fly for a white guy right now for them.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what they would do in the first round, to be honest.
they'll probably end up with one of the best defensive players.
Okay.
They could really use a secondary as well. That's
They
the other
could,
thing.
yeah. They could use a corner or a safety.
Real cool thing out of this game, it was one of our favorite player ask. His mural is behind us. You watched it live with me. Frankie Louvu, dude.
Yeah.
He was like, I am done. I am over the tush push. I'm just going to jump the line over and over again. It had those vibes of Polamalu pulling down Flacco or pulling down Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
Jumping that line. The crazy thing that came out of it was the penalty or the potential penalty.
That's one of the dumbest rules I've ever heard in my life.
Do you know that rule has existed for almost 50 years?
No, but it's stupid and
it just doesn't come up very often. It doesn't come up very often, but that has always been a rule, NFL fans. I know a lot of people were sounding off on that, like, where is this new rule coming from? I get what you're coming from. I get what you're saying. It kind of sounds silly.
It's awful.
It's there for protection for trolling. That's what it's there for.
Screw that.
I get it, but it's there to protect trolling so that the team can't do the same thing over and over again to prolong the game from finishing.
Yeah, what did you say there, producer Paul?
The tush push itself is kind of trolly, isn't it? So like
it is.
I
yeah,
agree.
it is.
I feel like they
agree.
could throw the flag the other way around too.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, I mean,
I think that the tush push, you've heard me spiel about this a
we've
million
both
times.
complained about it. Like
it's a rugby play. It's not an NFL play. I don't love it for the quality of the NFL. I Philadelphia loves it. I get that, but then their excuse would be, well, you could do it too. You just can't figure out how to.
Yeah.
It's just the fact of the matter that I don't think that anybody should be learning how to. I don't think it's a football play.
I don't think it is either.
So more power to Frankie Louvu.
It's just that whole scenario was just dumb.
It was because it took like what, a whole 90 seconds of just like us watching the screen going, okay.
Yeah, like
okay again.
You're just delaying the inevitable that they were going to score.
Right.
Like
I don't know. I hate it. So. I'm not going to be one to sit here and be how I was in the past and continue to complain a lot about the tush push. I just think it's something that isn't good quality football. Same thing as Patrick Mahomes flopping. I think those are both things that we could live without as NFL fans, right? I mean,
100%.
So,
100%.
Other things in this game, it's going to be the Eagles, obviously, and they're going to be fully set with their whole entire team outside of like Brandon Graham for this upcoming Super Bowl game.
Yeah, no, I think they're going in pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm. Saquon killed it.
Saquon,
by the way,
killed it. 3 touchdowns. Like,
I didn't give him his flowers. Saquon killed it in this game. He only had 15 rushes and had 118 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's probably the only thing I'm actually really going to root for in the Super Bowl this year.
I agree with you.
Is for Barkley to get his
100%. I'm only rooting for Barkley. I know that there's some Eagle fans in our live here and that watch our show. I'm rooting for Barkley. So when I watch the game and you're like seeing me go, yes, when the Eagles score and it's Saquon Barkley, it's strictly so he gets the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
and league MVP. Because I think if they win the Super Bowl, there's a excuse to give it to him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm after right now. Let's not get it twisted. We don't have to argue about it, but I'm just not rooting for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm not rooting for the Eagles. Definitely not rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would rather jump off a bridge than root for the Chiefs.
Rachel's in the chat.
Rach, she's big Eagles fan.
She doesn't.
She's big.
You don't have to
Eagles
appreciate it, Rachel. It's fine.
Terry,
not rooting for the Eagles.
Terry, who's a Commanders fan,
Barkley.
he says I ain't rooting for nothing.
Terry's done.
That's funny. Let's hop into this AFC game here real quick because there's a lot of controversy in this one. We watched this one live.
This game, man. It was like anytime the Bills had any type of momentum, the refs came in.
Dude, it was so
to
funny.
Kill it. Like
it was so funny because we watched it live with everyone else, and you know, at this point in time in the season, you are watching the game with fans of every team because their teams are all done. There's maybe 1-2 guys in the chat who aren't nervous enough to be sitting on their couch going like this, watching the football game, who are watching a live coverage. But so anytime something significant would happen that could potentially change the game, the refs implemented themselves in. I want to bring you back. Do you remember in the third quarter, the second half started and the Bills were hot. They were winning the game and everyone in chat was like, all right, let's go. And I said, no. And you agreed with me on this. I said, wait, the refs are staying out of the third quarter so they can be a big wreck in the fourth quarter. And that's exactly what they were.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
So it's just, and like the questionable 4th and 1s.
That's something that I wanted
Like-
to make sure that we covered. The Josh Allen sneak
Yeah.
on 4th and inches.
Yeah, dude.
My
Like-
guy, that was a first down.
He was over the line in the game.
He
It was
bobbled
very
over.
clear,
Yeah.
especially from the camera view that was up top, the eye in the sky.
Yeah.
You could see the line. You could see Allen reach the ball over
You
the
could
line.
see where he had the ball. Yeah.
He had it over the line
Yes.
to gain. It was a first down, and like this is
man.
this is something that the not the XFL anymore, the
UFL.
UFL, the merger between the XFL and USFL.
Yes.
Whatever. They put chips
I
in
love-
the football.
I know, and I love that idea. And they're on the pylons too, and the receptors. So as soon as that ball goes over in any way, shape, or form, they know. They get a green light.
Yeah. Instead of trying to use your eyes to see if he crossed the line, the gain, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. like, come on.
man.
We're
we have
using
the
chains?
We have the technology. Let's use it.
Yeah.
Like
It is the year 2025, and we're depending on two men in their late 50s to carry chains
man.
chains on buoys out onto the field.
and it's their part-time job.
Like, come on, guys. Like, what is that?
It's
I don't know.
absolutely ridiculous, man.
I don't
It's
know.
just-
Maybe that deep search or whatever the heck that new AI that came out is can help us out. And
something. I mean, like this is absolute bullshit. Like,
Super stupid. Biggest player for the Bills in this game. I know Josh Allen had a great game, and James Cook though.
yeah, James Cook had a good
James
day.
Cook had a
Good
great
day.
game. He's one of the players being added into the Pro Bowl now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think of anyone, he kind of deserves it. He had, I think, the most rushing touchdowns on the season of any running back. Is that not right? If not, he was up there in the top with Barkley. He had a ton of touchdowns. Check that out for me while I cover the rest of this. The other person I wanted to mention from the Bills side of the football, guys, is a name that you don't always hear, but towards the end of the season, especially in the playoffs, became a big factor for Josh Allen, and that's old Mr. No Shoes, Mac Hollins. Dude, Mac Hollins,
he had key
big
catches.
plays.
Yeah, big plays.
Big plays. 73 yards and a touchdown in this one on 3 catches. Maybe that doesn't say a lot to you, but if you watch the game, each one of those 73 yards was in an important point in time in the game, plus that touchdown as well. But James Cook, like I mentioned, he had over 100 yards from scrimmage in those 2 touchdowns. He had a great game. If you're looking at the other side of the football, I think we all heard this guy's name 2 million times throughout this football game. And that's Xavier Worthy. He was used a ton. They started out using Hollywood Brown the most. Then they moved forward and used Worthy for a good portion of this game. He had 2 rushes. He had 6 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown. It was a great game for him. Patrick Mahomes with 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Miserable to watch that football game. I just there isn't anything on the Chiefs that there isn't like a rookie. Like, I don't like Worthy. Like, there's nothing about the Chiefs that makes me say, oh, I'd root for them in this facet.
No,
Like, at all.
absolutely not.
Was I right about Cook?
He's tied with
Tied.
16.
Okay,
so
so I was-
Derrick Henry, Cook, and
Saquon
Henry, Cook, and Gibbs.
Oh, Gibbs.
all had 16 rushing touchdowns.
Who was 4? Josh
4
Jacobs.
was Josh Jacobs.
Okay, and I'm sure Jalen Hurts fits in there somewhere.
15.
Yep, with the tush push. So yeah,
Jacobs had 15. Hurts had 14.
yeah, and they're
So he
all
was in the
they're-
top 5.
Okay, they're not all tush pushes, but a lot of
The
them
majority of them were tush pushes.
were tush pushes.
Yeah. Sure.
Another thing I did want to mention, we kind of talked about this in the live about the Bills and Chiefs game. You didn't see a ton of Taylor Swift on the television.
They only showed her a couple times.
I'm not
It
gonna
wasn't
lie.
as much. I think the NFL's taken notice. Hey, we don't want to see this dumb broad
It's just
on the screen.
I don't hate Taylor Swift. I have nothing against her. It's just they don't show anyone else's girlfriend on the television
Yeah, no,
screen.
they
So
don't-
why are we
like-
showing her?
Well, when Tony
I
Romo was
understand
dating Jessica Simpson, they showed her. a lot.
Okay, yeah, but that's a little
Remember,
different.
you guys remember that?
She
When
was
Tony Romo.
Yeah,
That
she was
funny.
also in the news during that time period, being absolutely ridiculous and caught for lip syncing too. So that's kind of what made her extremely
I
popular.
thought it was her sister that was caught lips.
Oh, Brittany. Yeah, yeah.
No, Ashley Simpson.
Ashley. Yeah, you know, you're right. It is Ashley. It is Ashley. What's with Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica.
I was
Simpson,
confusing the two. I don't even remember Jessica Simpson.
blonde.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, I mean, like, I don't remember like any of her music or anything she did. She was on a TV show, I feel like.
Yeah,
Chicken
and she
of
did
the
some.
sea.
Chicken of the
She, like,
Sea.
confused. She thought tuna was like chicken or something. I don't remember how the joke
Oh,
went.
no,
Somebody
no,
will
I
know.
do remember that.
okay.
Yeah, everyone was making fun of her and being like, yeah, for sure. I do remember that. Adam is over in YouTube saying Urch isn't getting any younger. Dude, I think he stays there. And Derpy,
He might retire.
no, he's not retiring. He already
not?
announced it.
He's not-
He
he's
announced
coming
he's not
back?
retiring. Yep, one more year for the old man, for Mr. Reliable. Derpy's in chat. He's talking about what if the NFL sets it up so that Kelsey wins the Super Bowl and then proposes to Taylor Swift live on television for more views. He ain't wrong, really, though.
I know, but don't
I mean,
do it.
do you know how much money the NFL would make off of that?
Oh,
So much.
I really don't want to punch a TV.
There would be so many of those ugly T-shirts all over the TikTok shop that people would be trying to peddle to
That
people.
would be the worst.
Yeah, it would be the
Ever.
worst. I
It'd be the
mean,
worst thing ever.
yeah, it would turn the NFL into a soap opera. That's
oh my
for sure.
goodness.
Is there
Can we
anything
just
else?
Get back to football.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is there anything else from this game that you really wanted to cover, from the rest to the field goal kicking to the fans? Anything?
Well, we talked about James Cook. He had that nice touchdown run where the spaceman stretch
Yeah.
to get it across
That
the goal
was
line.
nice.
That was cool. Other than that, I mean,
It was what we
it's
expected.
just- it was exactly what I expected.
We've seen this 4 times already.
Yeah.
It was like we watched
It's
the
just-
same movie again, but like they changed the coloring. You know what I mean? Like
it's
more high
Groundhog.
definition.
We're in Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
like
literally.
we're watching the same things over and over and over again. It's just like, can we get something new here?
Please.
can
I made a
somebody
post.
do something?
Do you remember the Bengals and Rams Super Bowl?
Yeah.
God, do I miss those days.
That was a good Super Bowl
It
too.
was,
That was
too.
a good Super Bowl.
And now we have to watch the Eagles and Chiefs again. I'll quit complaining about it. What I do want to ask you, Ben, we kind of hinted on it. Oh, go ahead. Do you have something?
People are. I heard on the radio that this guy. He was just like a quick little segment
Yeah.
in between shows and whatever.
Okay.
Talking about how the Chiefs dynasty is the best dynasty there ever was.
If they win 3 in a row, I mean,
If they win 3 in a row, but I mean,
if not, they're the Steelers.
yeah.
Ti-
Well, no,
Bradshaw.
yeah. Well, if they win, they'll still have won 4 in 6 years, and then they'll have the three-peat,
Right.
which no team has ever done. But I mean, best dynasty ever.
I know. Well, what they're saying, what I've also heard on your point is that and a lot of announcers are saying that we should be thankful to be able to watch this. This is LeBron-esque. This is Michael Jordan-esque. We shouldn't be hating on Patrick Mahomes. We should be loving the fact that he is going to three-peat, him and Travis Kelce and the superstars that they're able to bring along with them. And I'm like, brother, absolutely not. I'm sorry. That's not how that works. Do you think people were rooting for Michael Jordan back in the day?
No.
Some were, but a lot weren't.
Yeah.
That's
weren't.
just how that goes.
Especially people in Detroit. But,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
empires rise and fall.
100%. And, there's always greatness always gets hated on.
Yeah.
So I will give Patrick Mahomes that he has greatness, but you deserve the hate that you get while you're in the process. It's part of the it's part of the
and
process.
plus it's just the way he plays annoys the piss out of me.
Yeah.
His whiny
Yeah.
little stupid Kermit voice, his stupid curly hair,
I believe
his
it.
stupid flopping on the sideline, his
The
talking to the
flopping
refs. Hey, let me know when this guy's getting too close to me. No. Shut up, dude. Play
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, just
Like,
play football. It's Tom Brady towards the end of his New England career. I feel like we forget Tom Brady being like that because he washed himself of it in 2 years in Tampa Bay with struggles and everything.
Yeah, he did watch. And before, I mean, early in their first run, their first dynasty run in the early 2000s, he was like a likable guy.
Yeah, no, I can agree with you on that.
So-
He wasn't hated. It was the fact that he was good that made you not like him.
Yeah.
Not that he was doing
Yeah,
things.
and he had a cooler story than Mahomes.
100%,
He was a
sixth-round pick.
sixth round pick. He came in due to an injury for Bledsoe and
Yes.
took over the team.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then
Unlike
Bledsoe came
Mahomes,
back.
unlike Mahomes, who was in line to take the starting job whenever they got rid of Alex Smith in Kansas City.
here's something on that.
as a first round pick.
Do you remember how they got that pick?
They traded up.
With who?
Oh,
Oh, chat. See if you can beat him to it.
Oh, I
Who did the
forgot.
Chiefs
I
trade with
forget
to
who-
get Patrick Mahomes?
man. They traded up to number 10, right?
They traded up to number 10. You're on a good streak. They gave up 3 picks, all of which are all pro players. Terry got it before you. Read the screen.
The Bills.
It was the Bills.
Wow.
Yes, that's who they
Thank you,
traded
Terry.
up with.
Thank you, Terry. I wouldn't have guessed the Bills.
Yes, they traded
but
up with
thanks,
the
Terry.
Bills.
That's crazy.
So that's what's haunting them right now. That trade.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right?
That's pretty wild.
Isn't that nuts?
That's pretty wild.
One thing I wanted to ask you about in relation to what's going on in the NFL right now. Now that you've seen, we've been talking about this week over week, and I've kind of been asking him his opinion as we go and giving mine. The MVP race, has it changed for you in your mind? Because I know that a couple weeks ago we were all, dude, it's Lamar Jackson's, but if he doesn't beat Josh Allen, maybe the torch gets passed on to Josh Allen. Now Josh Allen has lost to Patrick Mahomes. Is it now changed over to Saquon Barkley or Patrick Mahomes instead?
I'd like to see Barkley get it.
Do you think that he's actually leading a race with a confident yes? He's having the best running back year in existence.
See, me personally, if I had a vote for MVP,
Yeah.
I'm voting for Barkley.
One day we'll get press votes. One day we will.
Yeah. if I ever have a press vote,
Yeah.
or if I had one this year, I would vote for Barkley.
You would vote for Barkley.
Yes,
Okay.
because he got over 2,000 yards. He's having an insane postseason right
Dude,
now.
he's averaging like 3 touchdowns a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, what,
So,
Literally
I mean,
first
like-
play of the game, too, 60-yarder, right?
Yeah,
he took the first. Thank you, Paul.
If they took the postseason into account for the award, which they probably just should, because they do,
They
even
should.
though they're not supposed to, it's Saquon.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's sick, especially if he comes in the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, and gets the MVP.
yeah,
of the Super Bowl
and gets 3 more touchdowns.
Give him the MVP for the year.
Yeah, I kind of like what Paul said a little bit there, Ben. And I agree with you that Saquon, in my mind, because of the remaining players left, he's still playing, and he is still the biggest, most valuable player to his team. That's what the
100%.
award is, right?
100%.
But Paul did make a point that this is supposed to be something that is based on the regular season only. However, the vote doesn't happen until after the playoffs, which
Yeah.
is wild.
Like we don't know for like another 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
Do you think that do you think that they actually take the playoffs into consideration for this? Because Saquon, obviously, we already read off some running back stats.
I don't think they do because
He doesn't have the most touchdowns.
Lamar Jackson's won it twice, and he hasn't done great in the playoffs.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers won it back-to-back years. He hasn't been in the Super Bowl since 2010.
Since he beat us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think they necessarily. I don't think they consider what they do in the postseason for the award.
Right. I think your Aaron Rodgers example was a really good one because he lost in the NFC Championship game.
Yes.
And still won the
Yeah.
award. He had the most yards. He had the most touchdowns. The stats were immaculate. Don't get me
his
wrong.
touchdown to interception ratio for those years were insane.
Yeah, it was like 48-12 or something.
It was
like,
less than that, dude. It was
nuts.
under 10 interceptions.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And he had like almost 5,000-ish yards.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but that's in retrospect, what I wanted to say on that's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He has those stats this season, and he has them on his legs too. Mm-hmm. So,
But I mean,
it's going to be hard to pick.
Yeah.
I think. Let me ask you this: if it's just regular season, and they are true to the form of this is a regular season award. Who wins it based off of the regular season? Because I know you're going to tell me Barkley should win it, and I will agree with you that Barkley should win it if playoffs are included because of his involvement with the Eagles in this playoffs.
yeah. But if it's just regular season,
It's just regular season. Because
Jackson.
it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I would say it's Lamar Jackson as well. I think Josh Allen would be number 2, and I think Joe Burrow is a clean number 3 slot if it's regular season. Because Joe Burrow's numbers are absolutely insane.
yeah.
They are.
If the Bengals, if one of those games if a couple of those games would have went their way,
By field goals.
they would have been 11-6, 11-6, 10-7 in the playoffs. Probably would have kicked the Steelers out.
No. I agree with you. I agree with you completely. And
So-
you're just building my point. I 100% think that Joe probably had a career year.
Oh, he definitely had a career
You
year.
know,
He stayed healthy all year.
let us know in the chat who you
It
think.
was just if the Bengals would have had a better season, he would have been the MVP for me.
I don't even know who
If
this
they would have
is.
made the playoffs, he would have been the MVP. Chat, let us know who you think
Yeah, I would
is
say
the
Adam-
regular season
Adam says
MVP.
Alec Pierce.
and
I
then
don't even know who that is. It's Alec Pierce. Is that
Alec
He's the
Pierce.
wide receiver for the Colts.
I'm assuming
Okay,
Red
okay.
said that or Adam.
I
Yeah.
was just say I knew it was
But
funny. I just
yeah,
didn't
let us
why.
know. Other things I did want to talk about, Ben. There has been a lot of moving so far.
Yes.
Of staff from team to team to team.
New hires, head coach hirings, new coordinator hires.
All across the board. I wanted to read a couple of them off to you. I want you to, as I go through them, let me know who is the most shocking to you, who do you think is going to be the best fit, and who is probably getting fired at the end of the season.
Okay.
Alrighty? So the first one I have for you is going to be Dallas's.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know both of their hires. Maybe you know one, but I'm not sure you heard the second
the
one
head
yet.
coach.
The head coach you heard about, but they hired
Sure.
a DC this morning.
Oh, really?
Wait till you hear who
Yeah, I
it
didn't hear
is.
about this.
So the Dallas Cowboys have gone from within organization, and they've hired Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. He's never been a head coach before. Jerry Jones. I'm
Isn't
not
he
going to
the
lie to you.
son of Marty Schottenheimer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something funny about it, though. When Jerry Jones was interviewed about it, he goes, "Yep, I'm not looking for any glory holes here. We're going straight to it." And I'm like, "Bro, that was not the right word to use there, Jerry. I know that you're in your 80s, but glory hole doesn't mean the same thing anymore." But so they got Schottenheimer. That's kind of shocking, right? I mean, the
That
fact
was.
that
I thought Deion Sanders was like the leading candidate for that.
all kinds
for
of
the
names. It's Dallas.
Head coach. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everyone. If you're a
big name.
coach, if you're a coach who's up for a head coaching position, you want to coach the Dallas Cowboys because of the brand. They're always on TV. You know, you're going to make a lot of money doing it for even just 1 year.
Yeah.
Even if you suck.
No, 100%.
But
I got one for you, though, on this one. How about this? This is their defensive coordinator hire, Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus.
Yes. Do you know what his job was before he became the head coach of the Bears? What he used to do? Oh, man. He was the defensive coordinator
Yeah.
for the Colts when they were good.
Yeah, he was.
He was very good at it.
Yeah.
So that might be a good hire. It's a crazy one, though.
I think. I mean, I think Eberflus is a better coordinator than
100%. 100%. I agree with you. I think the Eberflus is way better at coordinator position, not being in charge. You obviously seen with the Bears that he had no control over the locker room. They didn't really think of him as boss man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't hold that Mike Tomlin-esque, he's unk in the room and everyone follows what he does kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Here's another one I got for you. This one had a little bit of controversy to it. This one was the beginning or end of last week, rather's controversy.
Yeah.
That Liam Cohen hire. Did you hear anything about him?
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, well, let me fill you in. Liam Cohen, he was the offensive coordinator for Baker Mayfield this year at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Okay. The Jacksonville Jaguars requested a interview with him. So he goes down and interviews.
Did they hire him?
Tampa Bay he goes back from the Jags without signing anything. Back to Tampa Bay. They make him an offer to make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. He reads over the contract, sneaks on back down to Jacksonville, and becomes the head coach while they're calling him. No one can find him. They're like, where is Liam Cohen gone? He's not in the building. He's not anywhere in Tampa Bay. Yeah, that's because he's over in Jacksonville, which isn't very far away, signing a contract to be the head coach. He's now the head coach. If you've seen any of his press conference,
I did. I actually did see that. I didn't know. I thought I saw that he was like Duval, and I'm like Duval. You're dumb. Like,
dude. I mean, that was probably the corniest way that you could have possibly said Duval.
have fun with the most overrated quarterback in the league.
We'll see what comes out of that. He did do great with Baker Mayfield this year. We can't lie there. Baker had a great season. He was
Baker
the
Mayfield
second
killed
best
it.
fantasy quarterback in all of fantasy football, and it was great in regular football as well. I know that they don't really pay attention to fantasy football in the NFL.
Baker's a
but
baller. I love
he is
Baker
a baller.
Mayfield.
Here's my next hire for you. I like this one a lot, and it also has a little bit of past rivalry to it.
Okay.
This is the Raiders. They went out and got Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, Weird flex, but okay.
Here's why. Him and the head coach of the Chargers are rivals all throughout their career.
Really?
Remember,
Harbaugh.
Let's think about this. Harbaugh,
Yeah.
in college, he had to play against USC when he was a college coach. Then he came to the NFL, and you know who
Yeah,
he
'cause
was a
at
coach
Stanford.
He was at Stanford,
Stanford, right? Yeah.
versus USC,
Yeah.
so California rivalry.
Yeah.
Then Seahawks 49ers rivalry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then there's another one in there that I can't remember off the top of my head that they're rivals because of. And now Chargers, Raiders. So it's
Okay,
like they
yeah.
followed each other around their entire careers.
That's kind of funny.
At the press conference, there was a lot of players who showed up in support for Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Max Crosby was in the building in the background, just watching, just to be there for the head coach. Another thing I wanted to mention is Marshawn Lynch
Yeah.
showed up in the middle and gave a big old Raiders in the middle of it. So that's cool to see. I think this is a good hire for the culture of the Raiders. After they've moved out of Oakland, they're over in Vegas.
Yeah.
They're kind of an unidentified team when it comes to who are they and what are they good at, what are they going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Moving forward, I think that adding this head coach is going to be a great move for them. You could tell Max Crosby,
Maybe.
their captain, loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, it could work out for them. They don't have a quarterback, but it could work out for them.
yeah, he gets
They
the
don't have a
roster
quarterback,
going. He
and-
does. Does he not though? He does. For an old guy running up and down the field, he's always getting them going. I think he's going to be a morale boost for the Raiders.
So and
where do they pick?
They pick 6.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you should, maybe I'll take the Raiders in this draft instead. I don't know. We'll have to see
I
if we
don't
can get
know,
a Raiders
'cause, like,
fan.
will Shooter follow them? Probably not. Maybe.
Maybe.
But
I like
they
what
need a
Terry
quarterback
said.
in Oakland. They need a quarterback in Las Vegas.
Guess who it's going to be? I think it's going to be Russell Wilson.
You think it's going to be Russell
Yeah,
Wilson?
I think Russell Wilson goes back over there. I absolutely do. I think we have Justin Fields next year, and Russell Wilson gets coaxed by Tom Brady and Carroll to come play over in Las Vegas. I absolutely think so.
I hope you're right because I'm already sick of his toxic positivity.
Yeah, I don't love it either. I do not love it either.
It's like, bro, you guys lost 6 straight games in the year, and then you're still like wishful thinking you're gonna get signed here and play.
I feel like that's why he doesn't fit.
I don't
on the
even want to
Raiders.
talk about those 6 losses.
Yeah, no, and that doesn't. Yeah,
I don't think.
Thank
he goes,
you, Paul.
Yeah.
It's a weird fit on the Raiders.
On the Raiders?
Yeah, because he's all like happy-go-lucky. And
Yeah, for sure. It's a different attitude. Yeah,
Yeah.
than Raiders fans are.
it's just-
They want to be dirty.
they're
playing
mean,
and,
dirty,
mean, yes.
like
absolutely.
poke you in the eye when you're down on piles and everything like that. Like
Okay.
that's more 70s Raiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's
Yeah.
when they could get really mean and dirty. Like,
Dude,
they
were known
had some
for it.
killers back then.
They were known
Like-
for it. They were known for it.
Everyone had killers back in the 70s, or
Yeah, literally. Next hire I got for
clothesline
you.
and his illegal tackle.
Yeah. No, facts. Facts. You could literally take a guy's head off. Here's my next one for you. Aaron Glenn, Jets.
Yeah, he's their defensive coordinator now.
No, he's their head coach.
He's their head coach?
Yes, he was the defensive coordinator for the Lions this season.
Oh, yeah, that's where I heard that. I mixed it up.
Yes. So not only that, but he was drafted by the Jets.
Yes, he was.
So pretty cool comeback story. He said in his press conference, he's been waiting for this day to happen. He's been dreaming of it his whole life to be the coach of the team that drafted him. He said, "We're the New York freaking Jets, and we're gonna make sure that we play like it." Well, that doesn't mean very good stuff. Another thing I wanted to add on this:
they haven't been in the playoffs since
a long time since Sanchez.
I think it's 14 years.
Something like that. What I wanted to ask you is this. Do you think signing a defensive-minded coach was the right idea for the Jets?
Well, they're not going to have Aaron Rodgers next year.
You think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's not going to be there.
All right.
I mean, maybe.
they
got a
building
good
from the ground
defense.
up?
They got a good defensive squad.
They
there.
do. They do have a good defense, but they don't have an offense.
They don't have an offense.
They've
They're
got
another
they got the
team-
tools.
Yeah, they're another team that's going to need a quarterback soon.
Yeah, and they're
And they
not.
pick after the Raiders.
Yeah, they're picking 7. So I mean, there's not going to be really anybody available at that point in time.
I mean, if it's going to create some sort of stability, with the Jets?
On one side of the field, yeah, I could see.
Because
that's
that's probably going to happen. It'll create some sort of stability with the team and the
Pittsburgh
franchise.
Steelers.
Yeah, do like a Pittsburgh Steelers-esque.
Yeah.
But
Here
I mean,
the
it's-
owner was like, I got to do better.
The owner, yeah, he
The
sure
Jets
does need
owner
to
was
do
like,
better.
I got to be a better owner. But yeah, that's Derpy's saying the Jets are just a terrible organization.
yeah, maybe not listen to your kids on
Yeah, maybe
on how
not listen to
sign
your
free
kids.
agency and draft
Yeah.
people due to Madden ratings. And
Yeah, because
everything
they're
like that.
Madden ratings, you stupid idiot. You're an NFL owner and you're looking at Madden ratings. Get the hell out of here. How dumb is that?
Send Pickens to the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. Well,
But yeah, Aaron Glenn, I like what you said. I think building from the defense back maybe is their mentality. Maybe that's something that the future holds. Maybe no Aaron Rodgers, like you mentioned. Maybe we can weasel Garrett Wilson off of him. I'm going to just keep praying that that's a possibility.
I don't think we could get Garrett Wilson just with George Pickens.
No, then just trade a first round pick if Mbuka isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Mbuka's not there, just trade. Just trade a first round pick.
Send,
we want to
send George in a first.
No, not George.
Not George.
Just the first.
Just the first.
Yeah, I don't think Garrett Wilson's worth more than the first.
I can. Well, yeah. I mean, first round draft pick. And,
Yeah, just swap out a
offensive
first.
rookie of the year. Hasn't played with a good quarterback ever.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, but he's a shell of himself.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Do you think he's worth more than the first?
Garrett? No.
Yeah,
I think a first.
is what he
Is
suffices.
sufficient,
Yeah, like maybe you give a first and a second, and you get a third back or something like that.
Yeah. Something like, or
Yeah.
like you give a you know,
Conditional.
The word. Yeah. You know the word.
I knew you were going to get to it. Guys, while you're watching along, remember today we
boy.
are going to be hosting a mock draft after the show. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you drop what team you want to be. We'll make sure we get it highlighted and we'll add you in. Ben, next team I wanted to talk about is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
They got Ben Johnson. We kind of already talked about that a
they
little
got
bit.
Ben Johnson from the Lions.
They also got Antoine Randall L. He is now moved.
Yeah, I saw that.
So there's a couple guys going down there.
He's making a lateral move, right? Still just a wide receiver,
He's assistant head coach,
assistant head coach.
but also wide receiver.
Yeah, assistant head coach, wide receiver coach. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an upgrade lateral move. It's a slash move. You know?
I think that's going to be really good for Roman Dunze.
Yep, and Caleb Williams.
And Caleb Williams.
Dude, Randall L
sure.
was a quarterback in college and a wide receiver. So
Yeah.
I mean the dude is. I love Randall L as a Steeler guy. So I mean I cannot hate that at all. Terry says he didn't see Randall L moving. Well, dude, he would like him too as a Commanders fan because Randall L had a pretty decent career with the Commanders. Not
Yeah, he played there for a couple years, right?
Yeah, not named the Commanders, but the Commanders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last hire, Ben, I had for you for tonight. This is the Patriots. They went and got Vrabel,
They did.
and then they went and got McDaniels.
Yeah, I heard that. They're just bringing the band back.
They're bringing the boys back to town. Do you like it?
No.
I don't like it either. Everyone's saying it's the best move. I don't think it is the best
Well,
move.
I mean, McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator, but I mean, I don't know.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the thing that kept McDaniels
It just feels like the Empire is going to strike back.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
You
It
know?
seems like they're going to somehow be 11-4 next year at some point in time.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, what the heck, man?
What
How are the
happened?
Patriots
Why
back?
are they back?
Patriots and the Steelers are top of their divisions right now, and then they'll both lose at the playoffs.
Yeah, to Mahomes and the refs.
Other thing I did want to cover with you, Ben, today, the last coach was the Lions have replaced Ben Johnson officially.
Okay.
They went and got who was their old passing game coordinator. His name is John Morton. John Morton. So now John Morton was under Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Okay. They did really well. He went on to go to the Broncos this last season.
Yeah.
Did well with the
They did really
Broncos.
well.
He's coming back as the offensive coordinator now for Detroit. So
Okay.
not really an in-house, but kind of in-house.
Yeah, kind of in-house, just bringing back a familiar face.
Yeah, exactly. I
Did
did want
done
to.
well, unlike Tomlin, who brings back familiar faces who haven't done shit in the NFL.
That's a topic for another day because
I can't-
I'll go 2 hours on it.
We'll save that for
I'll go a year on it.
We need content for Tuesday.
Some
so
Pro Bowl
don't
ads that
use
I
it
wanted
all.
to talk about. Oh, Paul, I didn't hear you. What was it?
I said we need content for Tuesday, so don't use it all.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We got one more
Can't
Tuesday.
do everything at
Get through
once.
here,
Yeah,
boys.
that's absolutely right. Pro Bowl ads. I wanted to talk to you about them because
Yeah.
they're a little silly. I don't think they're very deserving. even more destroying the Pro Bowl that used to be so cool when I was a little kid. Dude, do you remember?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this a little bit during the live watch. Do you like remembering playing against? You would have one team in blue, one team in white, or one team in red, one team in white, and they would all wear their own helmets. So you would have all these different helmets across the screen. You'd have Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens,
Big
all
Ben, Peyton Manning, like
the coolest setup of players playing a game of football that they're playing hard in. Don't get me wrong.
They play hard in, but
They're not
it
gonna-
wasn't like they
like
didn't
they're
go
gonna hurt each
hard,
other.
hard, but
Yeah.
they made it.
Early 90s, they went hard.
Oh yeah.
They did.
Well, the last time they went hard was, remember when this man
Yeah.
lit up the punter?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Pro Bowl. I love you, Sean. But yeah, see, that's my thing. It's not the same quality anymore. Like, I tell you right now, there isn't enough pleases that someone could ask me to give coverage of the Pro Bowl. I mean, maybe
Don't ask me about the Pro Bowl. I don't follow it. I don't care about it. It's just a dumb, here you go award for doing good for the regular season. And sometimes not even, because you get Tyler Huntley in the Pro Bowl.
Let me give you this list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Number one, let me go through them all, and then you give me your reaction. Give me a facial reaction if there's anyone crazy in there to you. There's only a few. I only wrote down the 5 they changed today. Okay? So the first one they changed in, Drake May is now in. Your second one, Ben, make sure you stay down there because Russell Wilson is going to the Pro Bowl, my brother.
What?
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Why is he going to the Pro Bowl?
Russell Wilson is in the Pro Bowl now somehow.
He does not deserve to go to the Pro Bowl at all.
Okay. Next one, probably the only deserving.
What?
There's 3 deserving guys maybe on this list. Second guy, or third guy, Baker Mayfield. Don't know which guy I'm on. Baker Mayfield. I think that's a deserving
He's
one.
deserving of the Pro
People
Bowl.
want to watch him play.
He had a career year.
He had a great year.
He had a great year. He's deserving of that. That's not crazy.
I like watching when they do the only thing.
Play half the year.
What?
Wilson?
Yeah, Wilson didn't even play half the year. Yeah. The only thing I like in the entirety of the Pro Bowl is when they do the quarterback drill, where they throw the ball at the moving targets.
That's not even that cool as what they used to do.
I know, but I'm saying that's the only thing that I like in the whole thing. So at least we'll get to see.
They used to do cool stuff in the Pro Bowl. Like they did the bench press. Who can rep? I think it was like 225 for how many reps or whatever.
Okay, for defensive and offensive linemen and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the guy from. He was on the Cowboys. I forget his name.
Offensive lineman?
Yeah, he was huge and strong. He was real strong. He did like 50, 60 reps.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Probably one of their left tackles or something like that.
Yeah, I forget.
Larry Allen.
Larry Allen, they're
Yeah,
saying.
Larry Allen. Thank you, Terry, coming in hot.
Terry knows. Thank you,
the
Terry.
trivia
Appreciate
guy.
you, dog.
Terry Trivia. That's his nickname
Yeah.
now.
So, Larry Allen, he repped like 50, 60 reps.
Oh, my God.
It's nasty.
That's cool.
It's insane.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I feel like the Pro Bowl's completely deleted itself from being something to watch. Another guy who made it in, JSN. I think that one's a little deserving.
That's deserving. He had a nice year.
He had a great year, in my opinion.
He
And
had a
the
really
last
nice year.
guy
Established himself as wide receiver 1 up
Yeah.
there in Seattle.
stole the job from DK Metcalf. I mean,
easily.
last guy, James Cook. But I think he deserves it.
He was tied for the league.
Tied for the
in
most yes.
rushing touchdowns.
Absolutely. So I think he deserved it.
After only having like 3 last year or last season.
Yeah, last season he was spelled a ton, and he
Yeah.
was a huge disappointment in fantasy. This year, huge upside in fantasy
yeah.
for sure. Other than that, though, Pro Bowl, not something I'm looking forward to. I'm still looking forward to seeing what's happening with the coaches, because right after this Super Bowl, what starts happening is conversations about who's going where, who's getting extended, who's not getting extended. Steelers' end of things, the owner, Art Rooney, he says he either wants Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Doesn't want to do the combo next season.
The answer is Justin Fields.
The answer is Justin Fields. And then he also wants to extend TJ Watt in this offseason. How do you feel about that in closing today? That'll be our closing topic. Any Steeler fans out there, Derpy, I know you're in the live. How do you feel about that information? Do you want to extend TJ? Is TJ extendable?
I would. I mean, I've heard all kinds of crazy takes that the Steelers should trade T.J. Watt and George Pickens and move up in the draft, and go get somebody like a Shadur Sanders or something like that. But T.J. Watt, to me, he's going to be a Steeler for life.
I think he's going to.
He seems like one of those guys who's going to. He was drafted here. He's going to play his entire career here. He's never going to go anywhere else. He's earned that.
Yeah. No,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's earned that in my opinion.
I
personally don't want to see him go anywhere else.
Okay. Is he worth the money that would be a detriment to the team? That's my question.
They gotta. It depends on what they got to do. Something with Minka's contract. Minka's contract is trash now.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Minka's contract, so is Patrick Queen's. Because Patrick Queen's contract
we
just
overpaid,
got really...
We overpaid for Patrick Queen. I understand why we overpaid for Patrick Queen, because we needed someone to help solidify the middle of that defense.
I agree.
Which he had moments. He had good moments this year.
Some.
But majority of the time, he was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, he was pretty poo-poo.
So, but I think we can. I think we should extend him.
Okay.
I want T.J. Watt to be a Steeler, so I would extend him.
I hear you. Guys, let us know, you Steeler fans out there, what do you think? Pittsburgh Steelers are talking about extending T.J. Watt for the remainder of his career. Do you think that's worth it? Do you think the monetary amount is going to be detrimental to what the Steelers can do in a possible, maybe not rebuild, but bringing in a fresh look of players? Let us know what you think. We'll respond back with you and start a conversation on that. Ben, is there anything else you wanted to cover today? I know we have our mock draft coming up. We got a lot of people waiting on us for that. Is there anything that happened this week that I maybe had forgotten about that you wanted to mention before we close out for today's show?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
The Steelers are back to the coaching carousel. The Steelers, they're not necessarily hiring anyone new.
Okay.
They're retaining Austin as the defensive
Oh, my
coordinator.
God. I hate it.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, can we, like...
I hate that.
We don't even have a sacrificial lamb to blame somebody for this year or something, because we're not getting rid of Tomlin. Arthur Smith's still going to be the offensive coordinator. Terrell Austin's still going to be the defensive coordinator. I mean, it's Tomlin's defense, but I mean, like, it's just nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change with this team.
Nope.
So, and it's just
that's disappointing.
It is disappointing. So, if any, that's why, just re-sign T.J. Watt. I enjoy watching him play in the black and gold. I feel like he should always play in black and gold.
Dang, that stinks so bad. Guys, again, here's another one for Steeler fans out there. I know we don't have everyone as a Steeler fan as our listeners and viewers. Mm-hmm. But Steeler fans out there, let us know what you think. Was the signing of Terrell Austin a good thing or not so much? Do we need a scapegoat? Let us know. I kind of agree with Ben. I think he should have gotten the old-fashioned boot out the door.
Yep. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The Steelers are insane.
Insane in the membrane.
So that's what I got.
All righty. If that's what you have for us, guys, if you are watching along and you are waiting for our live event, we're going to pop into that real soon here. I want to thank everybody who was live with us today during the podcast portion here on TikTok
everybody.
and on YouTube. Appreciate all you guys. We will be back in just about 2 or 3 minutes here. We're going to start up the second portion of it. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you again. Watching on TikTok, thank you again. Make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and then check us out on Spotify as well. We'll talk to you soon.